Good evening everyone, welcome to Dad's Go Sim Racing, and here we are in sunny Zandvoort for round 5 of season 10 for DGSR. Good evening everyone, welcome to Dad's Go Sim Racing. So I am your new host tonight because our normal fantastic commentary crew have actually got things to do that don't involve sitting in a stuffy room commentating on a bunch of middle-aged men playing racing games. I don't know what's got into them. So you've got me tonight. I'm Phil. I am a bit of a long-standing member of DGSR who is not racing this season. I am live stewarding, so for the first 4 rounds I have been attempting to control the madness of the DGSR League. Traditionally, for every season up to season 10, we've done stewarding after the fact, so applying points, penalties after the effect for stupid overtakes, crazy shenanigans, and all the various things that amateur racers get up to. But this season we have been live stewarding, and I have been in control, which frankly is a weird mix of enjoying the power but also extreme nervousness that I'm going to get shouted at for getting everything wrong. So when I had the brilliant idea of adding commentating to my responsibilities this evening, it seemed like a great idea. Not quite sure what I've let myself in for, but hopefully we will have a fantastic evening's entertainment. There will be some of the live racing, but in a little bit different to normal. You will also get to see me pontificate on any of the accidents, crashes and smashes that we get applying the penalties as we go. We begin with the qualifying session. It's a normal round this week, so a 55-minute race. We've got 3 categories of racers: our golds, silvers and bronze class. They each qualify separately. They get 12 minutes each to try and get a good time in. And let's go and watch some of them, because hopefully I won't need to be applying too many penalties during qualifying, because if we're getting crashes in qualifying, something's gone a little bit wrong. So who have we got on track? Let's go. You're all going to have to bear with me being a little bit slow with the streaming controls tonight, because A, it's the first time I've done it, B, I'm generally a bit shit with technology. So we should currently be watching Dieter van Brandt, who is currently, I think, the class leader for bronze. If he's not the leader, he's there or thereabouts. It's a good races so far. I'll be looking for another strong performance this week. There we go, he's coming to start his first flying lap. So we can do a tour of Zandvoort. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know the names of any of the corners. Don't really have a memory for racetrack names, so we will make it up as we go along. As he comes to the squiggly bit ahead of the tight turn onto another bit of a squiggly straight. Going to quite a high-speed corner here. There's a couple of little bumps as you go into this corner, which can throw your car off, and you'll be in that massive sand trap before you know it. Another tricky series of corners here into sector 2. I can never get this corner right. Dieter's done a very good job. choosing when to turn in for this one. Again, it's another tricky one to get right. A lot of time to be lost or gained. Zoom down to the chicane here. A little bit of a slide on the way in there. He powers back out. Final corner. He'll be aiming to keep his foot fully pressed there. Don't want to let off the accelerator at all. So that has put him in P4 in class after the first races. I'm pretty confident he will pick up in pace there. But the current bronze class fastest man, Mr. Matt Keys, he's currently on a 1:37.3. By comparison, you'll see the really quick guys aiming for low 1:35s tonight. Grateful if any of our 4 concurrent viewers can also say if the sound and everything is okay. We've had some right problems with the sound in the last couple of weeks, including missing almost the entirety of one of the sprint races last week with no commentary because we forgot to turn the mics on. Times are starting to tumble now. Mano Deckers, who won one of the bronze sprint races last week, picking up speed here. I'm now also realising I've not downloaded all of the liveries, so we are not getting to see all of the glory. Although any of the cars you see in black probably submitted their liveries a bit late because I took one cut before race 1 and haven't updated it against things. So it's basically their fault for being a bit tardy. I'm going to turn down the race audio a little bit and turn up my mic a little bit, thanks to the commentary in the chat there, much appreciated. Right, let's go find the car I've got the livery of, who uploaded their glorious designs on time. Matt Gale having a very strong season this season. He was held back by his teammate last season. His teammate being myself, as we grappled with the AMGs. He switched to the new Lambo for this season. It seems to be suiting him because he's had some very good results recently. Right, turn the game up a little bit more. Oh, a little squiggle there has put him down on his time. Someone up on their time is Mr. Deckers. Oh, I say that, he's just dropped a 10th. Oh, did you hear that? He had to let go of the throttle ever so slightly there, and that's cost him a couple of tenths. It's amazing how much you can lose in that last corner. That was a quarter of a second just from a slight lift. Back to Mr. Van Brabant. Oh, I'm going to mangle some names tonight. I'm going to A, mangle names, and B, get people's first names wrong, because all we use is initials here. Is it amazing sometimes you don't know somebody's name, your brain sort of makes it up? I've lost count of the amount of people that think my name is Paul, just because I've got a P there, and actually I'm Phil. But this is Dieter. I hadn't just made that up, so I'm very happy about that. He will be less happy that he's half a second down than his best lap. And getting less happy that he's just been pipped to the bronze top time. Now the bronzers don't have that much time left. Just a minute before their session ends. Oh, commentator's curse is strong tonight as we see a little trip into the scrubland there. Let's find someone on track. There we go. Oh, yellow flag. Okay, we've got a trip into the gravel there. Doesn't look like it involved anybody else, thankfully. You can see they're all trying to get out now. Oh, but realising they haven't got enough time to start a new lap. I suspect returning to the pits soon. Matt Keys, though, is nearly 6 tenths up at the moment. Let's put pay to that by watching him. Yeah, not a great entry there. Took a little bit too much speed in. He's still holding on to half a tenth up though. Get this chicane right. And McLaren doesn't love a bump. Last couple of corners. Oh, he's lost quite a chunk of time through that section 3. Keep it pinned, mate. Oh, a tenth maybe, is that enough to get him any movement? No, it is not, and he comes across the silver class coming out. So our bronze class top 3. Menno Deckers. I don't know why I'm cycling through the cars. I don't have the lovely designs. Menno Deckers on top in bronze qualification. Then Dieter Van Brabant in second. And Matt Keys third. So now we can go and have a look at our lovely silver class. Andy Bentley will be looking for a good race. I don't think he had a great time in Paul Ricard. I may be misremembering, but I think it was great for him. Right, he comes around for his first flying lap, to be greeted by a yellow flag for no discernible reason. On to the first squiggly bit. A tricky hairpin here. Car's often unsettled after that last couple of turns. The other thing I should mention for anybody that's never watched our races before, any of the 4 people currently watching, I'm fairly sure all existing races. But anyway, we have success penalties. So if you finish top 3 in your class in a full-length race, the next full-length race you will get a success penalty. 15 seconds if you won your class, 10 for second place, and 5 for third. Those time penalties are added on during the mandatory pit stop, so it shakes things up a bit. It avoids class domination and actually leads to some quite interesting strategies. People trying to build up a lead or avoid traffic. We'll see how that plays out tonight. It's also quite an interesting test of how quickly I can type in the penalties to the ACC admin section. So the first flying laps are now complete, and in top position in the silver class we have Mr. Wayne Bennett. Who's either a teammate of Andy Bentley, or I've only got their default colour schemes downloaded. I think they're teammates. So we have a collection of teams of 2, balanced for their relative driver skill. So you'll tend to see either a gold and a bronze teammates together, or 2 silvers. And their relative positions are added up over the course of the season for the team championship. So currently in the silver class, if I press the right button, Jamie Armitage is the current points leader. He's got the 5th fastest time at the moment, but he's quarter of a second up before he messed up that corner. In second place in silvers, Mr. David Lollick. He's currently qualifying 3rd before touching the grass and spinning off. Oh, I'm doing well with the commentator's curse tonight. Our normal commentary crew will be very proud of me. Is anybody else up? Ah, Wayne's up. Now Wayne's 3/10 up at the moment. Let's see if he manages to maintain that. That's not a bad exit. Loses just a little bit, but he's still 2/10 up, and that's enough to take him into second place in silver class currently, with Mr. Glenn Kirk currently leading the way. Let me show the current leaderboard. This is how we're looking right now. Glenn Kirk, numero uno, followed by Wayne Bennett and Eddie Wilkins, who we've not featured yet, but he's a very strong driver in the silver class. Chat pointing out I've got my display set up so we don't have session timings up. I need to have a little fiddle with that. I might leave it for the race though. Don't quite trust myself not to cock everything up. I'm somebody, when I'm driving, I'd like to as minimal a HUD as possible, so I can pretend I'm an actual racing driver, which I'm never going to be. So that means when I'm actually watching or commentating, there's not a lot of information on the screen. Right, let's go back to watching Glenn zoom onto another lap. He's still in pole position with a 1:35.47. Now that is actually a pretty decent time. I think he'll beat a few of the goals with that time. Who are we still looking to get a decent time from? Dylan White still in the pits. Alexandra Goncalves. His BMW sounds like it's struggling a little bit at the moment. I wonder if he's having some setup problems. Yeah, this is not going to be any improvement. This will also be his last lap. There are currently 13 minutes left in total, but at 12 minutes it is the turn of the gold class. Yeah, he's pulling over there. Not a great qualifying session. Also well down the pecking order at the moment is Ryan Greenaway. So this is going to be all or nothing final lap for him as he messes up the hairpin. Actually, it wasn't too bad, but he has a little squiggle, technical term, little squiggle on the exit there. He's a 10th down on his best time currently, and his best time currently is not that good. Takes quite a cautious corner there. That was the corner of a man that's been struggling a little bit in this sector. He's a couple of tenths down now, so not looking like improving. Yeah, he's given up there, accepted his lot, and having a bit of a practice getting into the pit lane. Sorry, actually that is smart. This is an awkward pit lane to get into. Very easy to pick up stop-go penalty. Right, the golds will be heading out now. We've not seen any big improvements. So I can tell you that Glenn Kirk is going to be numero uno for silver class, followed by Jamie Armitage and Wayne Bennett, unless Pavel Zozovic produces a stellar final lap. Oh, and he's just lost a tenth or two on that final couple of corners, so he won't improve and stays 7th in silver class. Right, let's head out and watch some of the quick boys. What I am going to try and do ever so quickly, if you just bear with me, I will try and get a bit more information on screen. I'm still here. I'm just putting you on the hold screen so you don't have to watch me faff around unsuccessfully to get good information up on screen. That's not the right button. Confirm. Let's try that. There we go. Right. Now. So hopefully now you should have the qualifying time left at the top and a bit of information about the track condition as well. Hot, hot, hot. 32-degree track temperature. Actually, that's not like that hot. Warm. Warm for November, you would argue. No wind. And we get to watch Roman Frala. Roman had quite a slow for him first flying lap. He'll be looking to make a big improvement this time. He's 4 tenths up currently. We'll just watch the end of this lap and we'll do a little bit of a recap of how Gold Class is looking. adds a little bit of curb. BMW looks pretty poised. 3/10 up coming to the last 2 corners. Can he keep it pinned? Just about. He's a couple of tenths up. That's only enough for 13th though. I would expect to see Roman in top 5 by the end of this qualification, but we'll see. Could be a tricky track, setup issue, or just a bad day at the office. Somebody who's not having a bad day at the office, Rich Gasson, currently rocking a 1:35.1. So the Gold Class season standings currently, Mr. Gasson might be the fastest man on track at the moment, but he's in 2nd in the standings currently, being beaten by Daz Menzies. Now, this is quite an interesting one because you get to drop your 2 worst rounds. Daz's 2 worst rounds are almost certainly going to be rounds 1 and 2, where he got repeatedly punted off, and some of the worst luck I've seen in ACC. Shouldn't laugh, but it was a little bit funny. But anyway, so that means now he can't really afford a bad race, and true to form, since those first couple of races, he's not had a bad race. He's been multiple victor, putting in some really strong times. He's a self-confessed try-hard. Got a lot of respect for that. Love a guy that puts the laps in. But he can't currently get past Mr. Gasson, who has just nipped into the 1:34s. I take the camera away from him, and he dips below 1:35, so he can thank me for that one later. Just under 5 minutes left of this qualifying session. So rounding out the top 3 in golds is Roman Frala, who we were watching a little bit earlier, and hence my expectations he won't be happy being outside of the top 10 currently, and Daz will not be happy with the exit from that corner. Cormac Quinn is going to be currently happy, 2nd place. He's really motoring. Well, obviously he's playing a car racing game, but like motoring in the doing good times sense as well. What I'm also going to do, so what we're going to be doing a lot of in the actual race is reviewing incidents as they happen. So it might mean we miss a little bit of the action, and by a little bit I mean most, because I'm not the fastest at coming to judgments. But what we'll start to see is a few replays, and I'm looking forward to trying to do this live. So we've had an incident. I said incidents in qualifying are rare, but let's have a look at what happened here. This is what I was saying about the pit lane being very, very difficult to get right. So there we had a slower car getting a little bit of a nudge. Just going into the pits there. So that is a little taste of some of the incidents I'm sure we're going to see tonight. Back to the live action. Gasson has gone a bit further into the 134s. It's not to improve this time though. Somebody who I haven't mentioned yet, Gabe Hauker, former DGSR champion, possibly even reigning DGSR champion. I'll get the name of the stream right in a minute. Reigning champion, very strong, very precise driver. Currently in 5th. Very serious driver at times as well. He will be wanting to break into the top 3 for qualifying here, I am sure. Coming around, if he gets a good exit, he could improve a little bit. He just starts to touch the green deltas, but basically no change there. Who else shall we follow on? Why am I getting a timing report for Wayne Bennett, who is still in the pits, as he should be, in silver class? Cormac shaves a 10th of his best time in the first corner. We'll put pay to that joining him live now, though. Rich Gasson is currently 3.5 tenths clear in P1. There we go. Commentator's curse takes out Cormac. And on the live timings at the moment, I've just got a sea of red. Nobody is making any improvements. So we've got the current top 3 of Rich Gasson, Cormac Quinn and Daz Menzies. Roman Frala in the pits. I wonder if he's given up on qualifying. He would need to leave right now to get round in time for one last flying lap. I don't think it's going to happen. So let's not just show you a car in the pits. Let's jump on board with Dvorak. Marek. I was going to say Marek, and then I doubted myself. Oh, let's check his pit entry technique. Nice entry. Well, this is a bit dull. Nobody else on track. Everybody is finished. Qualifying is over. So we have got showing up some chats there. Looks like there was a little bit of back and forth about who should be allowed to go out with a different class. Can be a bit annoying sometimes if you miss your class slot. But there we go. Let's take a trip. Whee! Okay, so as we look down the pit lane, there we go. Basic. So pole position, Rich Gasson with a very impressive 135.8. The only driver today into the 134s, which are a seriously good time. On the front row with him will be Cormac Quinn, who will be delighted to have a front row position. That's a very strong qualifying race. Onto the second grid, Daz Menzies and Lee Hems. That's a strong fourth place from Lee there. With Marek and Gabe. Leading the silver class, Glenn Kirk and Jamie Armitage actually find themselves right in the middle of the gold class races. They are putting on a strong performance there, and I'm sure there will be some calls for them to be moved up a class. Wayne Bennett and Eddie Wilkins also ahead of some of the golds in their third and fourth positions in silver. Out of the bronzes, we have Marek Dekkers with the fastest time there, and Dieter van Brabant. Again, they found themselves beating a few of the silvers as well, and strong performance from them. And then Matt Keys, third place, bronze. Matt Gale, fourth place. I think they're both Matts, and I've not just assumed M equals Matt. Apologies if I'm wrong. Right, we'll be getting ready for the race proper soon, just waiting for the server to tick over into race mode, and that's where I get to play my fast fingers game, where I try and add all the penalties before the race starts. Here we go. Right. Right, so 2 minutes 40. Can I do it? Can I? Oh, hang on a minute. The session's not started. Let's try. Who do I want to give a 15-second penalty to for winning previously? Daz Menzies gets one. Who else wants one? Jamie Armitage. Right, and the other class winner from round 3 was Dieter. Okay, so the 1 minute 50. I should less chatty, more penalty. Now it's annoying doing the 10-second penalties because you have to do 5 seconds at a time. So let's do some of this. 5. So Rich Gasson get 10 penalties. So that will play into the hands of Cormac Quinn. You've got to say he's in a strong position to take advantage of the cards either side of him having penalties. Bruce Youth. Gets 10 seconds. And for bronze class with 10 seconds is Menno Dekkers. That. Penalties all over the shop. Right, bronze time. No, not bronze time. Third place penalties for the gold class. Oh, Gabe. And Eddie. And Pordy, is he here? Not sure. Oh gosh, 30 seconds. We've also got some carryover penalties. Oh yeah, these are people that missed the round they should have had a penalty in previously, and that means I need to find out their race numbers. Stop it. No. And then I'm not sure if Mr. Kilby is there actually, so we will go from that. So we have a race ready to go here. We're going to go into drive. We are going to go into free mode. We're going to zoom over here because the action is likely to be T1. So if we can beat the cars into T1, any particularly nasty crashes, I will red flag it. Whee! So we will wait for the cars to pelt it down and cause me all sorts of headaches with crashes and whatnot. Let me just get in. There we go. There we go. Well, you can just see them at the very top of the screen. They are zooming down. If I was better with the camera controls, I would follow them, but I am not. So you would just have to make do with all the little ant-like cars. Green light, green, green, green. Off we go. Need a better catchphrase to start with there. We are 3 wide at the front. Oh, there's a big dive down there by Frawler. Oh, a little bit of a tappy tap. Everybody seems to get away with it. No, we've got a car spun round. He's got the brakes held on, which is great. Oh, and we've had a crash over on the straight there. Now, these cars, are they taken off safely? We do give penalties for unsafe rejoins, because there's nothing worse than somebody joining at a right angle or just coming back on track in a stupid way. But everybody has got going again. We'll follow the cars around for the first lap, and then we'll start looking at the penalties. Looks like we'll get a nice tour of Zandvoort here. Right, here we go. The leaders come around. Rich has held on. It looks like Cormac has lost a place though. Got some action. Oh, and we've got another spinner in the background there. And my fantastic free camera work here. It'll be of no surprise I'm also useless at first person shooting games. Right. Let's zoom everybody back down. Oh, this is the best way for me to win a race. By flying in my little drone. Here we go, first lap. Alright, let's nip into Rich's car. I'm gonna do. No, I'm not gonna put the tires on. I'm gonna put that on. There we go. Oh, that looks like a lot of penalties, doesn't it? All the success penalties. Almost half the field with a success penalty. Interesting. 23 races today. A little bit low. We started the season with about 40. Well, I'm wrong. There were 30 races today, so it's just this doesn't show all 30. Right. So enough chitter chatter and sort of idling around. I have 12 incidents to look at. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. Right, let's go for it. Okay, so this is Prala, who I mentioned at the top of the race. Had a little bit of a dive down here. Not brilliant braking, but to be honest with you, I'm not going to take any further action there. We'll have one last look. So this is from Dieter's position. Now you'll see he gets a little tap from behind there. I don't think that's too bad either, but we did see Mr. White get spun around there. So I'm not taking action there. Small bump. I write some notes, so you will hear me muttering to myself and typing, which is fantastic live action stream type chat, I know, but you just have to bear with me. I'm a little bit slow and I need to talk out loud when I'm typing things. Right, next incident. Again, I think this will be connected to the one we've just seen. Little bit of rubbing. No further action. Rubbing. Technical race terms there. Ooh, that might be worthy of a revisitator. So this is the unfortunate spin. Andy Bentley, I think, catches. Going into the first corner. No, oh no. Ah, no, 888. That was the. So who took out 888? That is interesting, right? So 927. It wasn't him. So Andy Bentley is just sort of minding his own business, and then at the very bottom, you'll see the 888 car get taken round. Now, annoyingly, the software hasn't picked out who actually span Mr. White. Right, whose first name I'm going to look up, because I want to say Dylan, but now I'm second guessing myself. It is Dave. I should have just gone with Dave. D's always safe. D, Dave. Dave White. Now, who was it that nudged him? We need a smoking gun here. Oh, okay, okay. So actually, I'm not sure. I think that might just be unfortunate, because I think Ryan Greenaway. Look, he's going. Oh, 3 wide here. Always dangerous. Oh, bump, bump. I think I'm going to go for racing incident there, you know. It could be a penalty for Ryan. I'm going to watch it one more time. He goes 3 wide. But you'll see, he, because of the concertina up the front, he nudges Andy Bentley and goes into Dave. I'm going to look at that again later. Sometimes I like to come back to things with a fresh pair of eyes. But for now, I'm going to say no further action, but possible revisit. Nudge. Revisit. No, revisit. That way, I don't get hung up on one accident for ages, and we can continue. So we'll continue with Matt Gale. You'll see these are all incidents in that first corner. A lot of this is just going to be the concertinaing. Yeah, little nudge, little nudge, little nudge. He gets going fine. No further action. I'm going to call that a rubbing nudge. I'm using quite a few technical terms tonight, so do shout if I'm, just being too technical for everybody. Shout what you want, actually. I'm not reading chat at the moment. Okay, again, this is yeah, a little bit more. Oh. No, I don't think we're going to do anything there. A gentle rub. Ooh, getting quite sensual now. Right, now this one has been tagged as ending up in a spin. A spin for Marek, who is further down because he started out top 5 or 6, didn't he? So let's see what happened there. This is, look, wanted us straight after the first turn now. Okay, I think this is going to be our first penalty of the day, because that looked like to me the car behind him missed their braking and gave him a bump up the bum. More technical terms. In a minute. Oh, actually, the car that hit him, 192, I believe is Lee Hems, looks like he's retired. So that would probably have been, I would like to see the incident from his view, but because he's gone, I'm not able to. That probably would have been a 10-second penalty, because Marek lost a lot of places, and it was in lap 1, where we tend to be a little bit harsher to try and encourage gentler racing. Just going to double check that Lee Hems isn't there and he has left. Yeah, we've lost a couple of races actually, we're down to 28 now. Dvorak trying to gain those lost places, coming up on Javier Farr. Right, let's continue with the replays though. No live action for you guys, it's all replays. Oh dear. Okay, so this is after, yeah, after the results of his previous spin. But we want to, oh! Again, okay, the other driver that's left is number 66. Who was that? Thomas Naroki. Oh no, poor Thomas. Okay, let's try and, we'll just, out of interest, try and work out what happened to him. It looks like it involved Eddie Wilkins. They would have been racing for position. Thomas in there. Oh, that's not too bad. So something else must have happened to Thomas. We would just call that a nudge. Okay. Right, next. Oh, Ryan Greenaway. Okay, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt earlier. Do you remember we said we're going to revisit that one? Let's see what happens here. So this is same series of corners. Oh, actually, it's not him at fault here. Looks like Matt Gale just brushed him on his way past. Now you could argue, tiny bit of a no, it's not a dive. He just is going quicker on the inside. So we'll no further action on that one. Okay, next. Let me just check streaming. Calls in the chat for a 30-minute penalty for Ryan Greenaway there. I suspect that's off a rival in the championship, Mr. Pichon there, who's not here tonight. Good to have him watching though. Right, anyway, back to the action. We are going to see a spin, and we are not because... Oh, this is when... Okay, this is where I said Naroki. Yes, Naroki has retired because he was involved in an incident with David Lolek. So let's watch this one. I've still not given out any proper penalties yet because people keep leaving, but this might be one for Lolek, who we're watching live currently overtake Jamie Armitage. That wasn't a bad move. See if Jamie comes back. No, not there. Anyway, replay time. Is it penalty time? Okay. Side by side on the fast corner. He tries to switch onto the inside and tags Thomas Naroki. Now, okay, I like to watch these a couple of times. I don't think this is like awful. He's not done something properly stupid. We have seen that before. He's on the outside, switches to the inside, gets the better run, and a tiny touch on the outside there. So I'm going to call that a 5-second penalty. If Naroki had stayed and I'd seen how far down the list he'd fallen, say he went straight to the back, I would have upped the penalty for David there probably. And there is an argument that it should be. Because it was lap 1, an argument that it should be a harsh penalty, but that would feel not quite right, given it was a tiny touch. But anyway, so I'm going to go over and apply the first 5-second penalty of the day. No, I am not. Technical issues. Technical issues, and okay, right, bear with me a second. So this is the next incident along. This involves, oh my goodness me, oh wow, oh wow. Oh, we've a bit too late to red flag it now. What on earth is happening there? Okay, this is some of the spins and crashes. Right. I can't actually get into the game. Ah, there we go. No. Oh, dearie me. Something, alright, hopefully this will add a penalty to Lolek. Yes, it does. So I have applied that. We'll return to driving. A little bit annoying that I can't get the chat box up to do penalties. Right, anyway. Back to the horrible lurking feeling that I missed a really massive accident on lap 1. but thankfully nobody will know that I completely messed up, because it's not like I'm recording myself doing this for the first time. Okay, let's get with it. Alright, we're going to try and work out what happened here. So it's a little bit further up. All sorts of shenanigans there. Gosh, you see... It's been a little bit difficult because... Yeah, so this is the early set of incidents. And we've got some people that have left. This is that one that would have been a penalty, but he had gone. This was the small nudge on exit. That was the small rub. This was the tap and a spin and a penalty. Oopsie daisy. Now this is the chaos. Now unfortunately the software hasn't tagged the actual start of that incident, which is very unfortunate for me. We will continue to work our way through, and then what we're going to do, second half of the race, we'll go back into the main replay and have a look. So let's keep looking here. I'm not going to give any penalties for here. Look, he's slowing down. If I see anybody speeding through, like sometimes you see people thinking they're going to the parting of the Red Sea and just absolutely pelting it. Nobody seemed to be doing that there. So we can break out some no further actions. What else are we going to look at? This one. Yeah, this is after the event, you see. This is just a little bit of brushing after the event. Now, I don't be a bad workman blaming my tools or anything, but the software didn't pick up the initial content. Let's try this one. Oh, no. No, this is... we're past that event now. So we're into sort of back to normal racing. So we'll go back and investigate the chaos. And write myself a note. Investigate chaos. Right. Because we might need to come back to that, and that might be, if I can't resolve it today, I'll stick some penalties on after the race. We can sort of add some time penalties on afterwards. So we're almost catching up as well here. So this is watching 418. Oh no, who had an incident? Okay, so number 20 goes for a move that is not on there at all. But number 20, I will... Pavel Josvik. Looks like he has departed. I keep saying departed like people have died. Nobody's died. We're just playing a nice game on a Tuesday night. There hasn't been much murder. We might need to come back to it. So that would have been 5 seconds. But 20 has left. Okay, next incident is tagged as a spin, 2 cars spinning out here. As we get to watch, oh, Daz. Where did Daz start? Daz started 3rd, I want to say. Chasing David Lolek. While we are watching the live race, we knew a little bit of a recap of who's where. So Rich is leading, followed by Cormac Quinn. Rich has a 7-second gap currently. If I change that to this, we can look a bit. So Rich is 6.5 seconds ahead of Cormac. He'll be looking, as soon as that ticks to, like, you know, 10.5, that's when he'll feel comfortable going into the pits. He'll want to build the gap and get out in front of Cormac, would be my strongly held suspicion. Cormac himself is being chased down by Gabe. And Cormac drops a wheel there onto the gravel, and Gabe has got the inside line now. Gabe should be able to make this stick. This is live. This isn't just me getting lucky on a replay. This is me getting lucky with the live. And Gabe does make it stick. Great move there by Gabe. Now, unless he can build a 5-second gap to Cormac in the next, you would think 3 or 4 laps, would be unlikely Cormac could get that place back. But Cormac might not be able to get first place because Rich is now 8 seconds ahead. That tussle with Gabe has really played into Rich's hands. Okay, enough of the exciting racing action. Let's go back to boring incident reviewing. But I'm going to offer you a juicy one here because I think this results in a bit of a crash. Ah, this is the mysterious Lee Hems who has left. Yeah, he's left. So I wonder if it's because he had enough after this race. So he moves over here. I don't think he's defending. I think he's moving over to let Daz through there. I'm prepared to be told I'm wrong. That could be. I guess they could be defending the inside there from the dive, but it looks like he lets go of the accelerator, but then just goes into Daz's corner. I'd be interested in talking to Lee after that because it's difficult to know whether that is just a miscommunication or he was defending the place and just got in a bit of a tussle. I'll just put that down. Put that down as a racing incident. It's probably slightly on, well, completely on Lee there, but I don't need to get into that too much. Next incident was another one with Jozovic, who is now, we know is now left, so I wonder if this is what put him over the edge. Oh look, he's already spun there, he's already spun, and oh, you've got to feel for Alexander. I am not good at accents, and I really apologise for name mangling. But Goncalves there, I've jumped straight back into the difficult names. You've got to say he was really unlucky. It looks like Jozovic has lost it. He is on the brakes. Actually, has nothing to do with Jozovic at all. Goncalves lost it of his own accord and just speared the unfortunate Pavel. So that is the racingest of racing incidents, and I can now understand why Pavel left. Imagine you've just spun out, you're not on the racing line, you're minding your business, waiting for the next load of cars to go past you, and another car just spins straight into you. Yeah, okay, unfortunate. Right, let's jump to Eddie. What's this? What's this? Ooh, this looks like... Oh, that's something and nothing there. Looks like he's had a nice fight. So that was Bruce Use. Looks like they had a little bit of a battle together. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what has happened here is Eddie has completely muffed that corner up. Bruce has got level, and they've just bumped into each other. That is a rubbing bump. Okay, over to Menno Deckers. What happened here? So final corner. Ha! I knew. What did I say? I said we would have incidents of people going into the pits, and that is a hell of an incident going into the pits. Okay, so Matt Keys. Suspect I might be feeling slightly sheepish here because, yeah, no, that's not good. Now, is he actually pitting, or is he retired pitting? Because last week, Wayne Bennett, who can be slightly fragile at times in the heightened environment of the races, was in the pits. I think he'd given up, and I gave him a 5-second penalty for a previous incident, which I can't imagine went down too well. But anyway, let's watch this again. Yeah. Yeah. That would be a penalty there for Matt Keys. Probably 5 seconds. I'm going to write a little note here. I'm not going to apply it unless we see him moving again. Miscommunication on pit entry. It's as the overtaking car. It's on Matt there to be to take care, but it's just unlucky. It's unlucky with the pit placement here. Oh, he's moving right. He's getting a 5-second penalty. Miscommunication on pit entry. Because the other thing I wasn't a massive fan of there is that once he'd made contact, he just sort of drives through him. Miscommunication here. Goes into him there. Oh, actually, yeah, no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm being slightly harsh there. But if someone's coming across you like that, near the pit lane, you should go left. I know it sounds like hindsight, but you know we're at the halfway point. Cars are going to start going into the pits. If you see a slowish car near the pitch entry, go left. So we'll give a 5-second penalty there to Matt. And I've got my ability to give penalties back, which is nice. He'll love this because he could have had it in his pit box if I'd have realised he was still going, but never mind. There we go. Right. We've nearly caught up, which means we do need to go back to that big crash. Right, another incident here for Mr. Lolek. Oh, he's heading for the pits. Or is he? Or is he? No, he's just defending his position. And he's the victim here. I'm not going to give a penalty here. This is on Daz. He goes for the slipstream. You know, he's had his incident earlier. He's trying to make up lost ground. He's got the slipstream here, and just nudges David. It's not as if the Lamborghini has a particularly long bonnet. If he's driving the AMG and you nudge a guy, fair enough, because the end of your nose is about 50 yards in front of you. But in the Lambo, not much of an excuse there. But as I said, not a massive amount of harm done. I'm not going to start chucking on penalties willy-nilly for minor incidents like that. Small nudge. Okay. This one, though, I think might be a little bit more serious. Oh, 99, Ryan Greenaway again. Oh, what on earth has he done there? Oh my goodness. Oh, that was quite special. So he's got going again. Fair play to him. He's got going again. And it just looks like poor Wayne Bennett. Oh, something I said about Wayne. He's probably not taking this particularly well, because this is just pure bad luck. Ryan has. I don't know how you've lost it there. Now, oh dear. And then more innocent bystanders. So Wayne is just unlucky there. You got to feel for him. Ryan royally messed that up. Now, here's the question. Ryan, not on his brakes here. Whenever you spin, hold your brakes. Now, going into Ryan's mind, it's a dark and unpleasant place. Going into Ryan's mind, he's thinking, I'll keep rolling backwards here and I'll get out of the way more. That, for me, just adds uncertainty for the other drivers. So he's messed up here. He's on the brakes here. On the brakes. Ah, no, he was on the brakes. I think it's just pure momentum. Pure momentum has cost him there. Let's watch that again. Brakes go on. Off tiny bit there, but no, he's still going backwards. I've got to call that a racing incident. I feel for Wayne. I really do. But that was Ryan muffing it up of his own accord. Once the muffing had happened, more technical terms, he did everything right. He was holding his brakes. unfortunate. 4741. Oh, Wayne still in the pits. He might be going again because we're about the halfway mark. I feel for Wayne. I wish there was some kind of like way of sending in negative penalty, because that's unfortunate. We'll have quite a bit of damage to repair then. And the other car that got caught up in that, I couldn't quite make out who it was in the given how quick it went. So very unlucky there for the cars caught up in that, but not really anybody's fault. Okay, let's go back live and have a little look at how everyone's doing, and then we'll try and unpick that monster incident earlier that the software shit the bed on. So we have me being able... Oh, he puts up the scoreboard, yes. So Rich, as I said, not yet pitted. He is trying to build that lead onto Cormac. He's got the 10 seconds now, so you've got to imagine he's going to go in soon. Is he going to go in now? Doesn't look like it. No, he's not. So he's going to go. He's going to do a long stint. That is a tactic that the people with the 10 and 15 seconds often use to try and avoid getting stuck in traffic when they come out. So they do a long first stint. However, now he's got a 10-second gap at the front. Got to think he can pit in a fairly relaxed manner. Cormac is pitting. In third place, David Lolek from Silver Class goes for the second place with Cormac pitting. That's tremendous. Of course, once all the sort of pit stops sort themselves out, you would imagine it will come a little bit further down. But it's a strong showing in Silver Class there. After a couple of small incidents along the way. What do we have going on in bronze? Dieter, he's still got to take his pit stop and still got to take his 15 seconds. Is leading the class there, but you would suspect Pordy, who's only got a 5-second penalty, fancies his chances a little bit. Don actually has taken his pit stop, doesn't have any more penalties to serve, so he's on target here for a decent position in bronze, you would think. Right, where's Gabe come out after the pit stops? Gabe has... Oh, what's going on? Ah, yes. Gabe has come out ahead of Cormac Quinn. So we saw Gabe do that overtake earlier, thanks to my brilliant camera controls and not at all right place, right time. After the pit stops, Gabe is in front of Cormac. Right, I can't put it off any longer. We need to go back and work out what the hell happened with that incident that we sort of saw the after effects of. We didn't see the cause of. So to do that, we're going to have to go into the replay function. Now, the reason I'm a little bit hesitant to go into the replay function proper is that it sort of breaks the links to the software we use to track the incidents. So as it is, in the race control software we use, God, this is boring, isn't it? But I'm going to explain it anyway. It automatically gives you a little replay button. It'll give you a sort of a 5-second replay. But if you, in-game, go into the game's replay function and fiddle about with that, it then seems to break the links back to the software. So I'm a little bit hesitant to do it, but we've caught up with all the incidents so far. We've got 20 minutes left. So what better way to spend 20 minutes is not watching this thrilling battle between Gabe and Cormac. It's to watch an incident from 15 laps ago from multiple angles to work out if we need to start dishing out the big penos. Okay, so come with me on a journey. Okay, so you also get to live see how rubbish I am at using the software. Who was involved in the chaos? Who should we follow? Andy Bentley. Let's get Let's do this camera angle, and it was sort of lappish one, wasn't it? So here they get going. Oh no, I've gone too far. Okay, okay, ground zero. What we're going to do now, we are going to go free in the camera. Whee! Okay, we're going to go up here. We're going to go down. Right, we're going to get rid of the HUD. That way, I'll be totally unbiased. Oh god, I'm rubbish with the controls. Oh, something's already gone wrong. Right. Okay. Something has already gone wrong. Who is this car here? Let's zoom. Oh, god, that went wrong. Okay, I've got the speed set up too wrong. Right. Ah, 66. That is, if I'm not mistaken, Thomas Nawrocki. So, we joined Mr. Nawrocki, wondering what's gone wrong. What has he done to deserve to be at a 90-degree angle in Zandvoort with 10 other cars herring towards him at high speed? Let's relive it in its slow motion glory. Wow, that was painful, wasn't it? Okay, let's pause that. So, let's go on board. Where was that? Oh no! So, let's go. Oh, he gives up after this lap as well. Okay, who's he next to here? Hello, who am I next to? A minute, change car. Mr. David Lolek. Oh, this was that contact where he goes inside. Okay. So ground zero is the contact we did look at before. Do you remember? I said do you remember because I'm basically asking myself if I remember. But this is where he switches back and then does the tap. So what did I give this at the time? We didn't give it any penalty, did we? We gave 5 seconds to David. We did. We gave him 5 seconds to David for this. I'm now wondering whether that needs to be a bit more due to what happens next, or is it just unfortunate? So he cuts inside here. He just... yeah, the nudge is a small nudge. The 5 seconds was justified. You know, before it's 5 or 10, it could be 10. But it is the smallest of touches. We'll look from another angle in a minute. But then all hell breaks loose, doesn't it? So Thomas spun round here, gets hit again. He's probably just hoping he spins off now, but the cars behind, they are struggling to avoid. We're going to be looking for people letting go of their accelerators. You see the number 20 there, Jozovic, for example. Was he slowing down enough? Don't know. We'll have a look. But it's just chaos here. It is chaos. And poor Thomas. Poor Thomas. Right, so I said I wanted to look at Pavel, who's also actually left. I'm only going to look at him briefly. No, you know what? I don't think we can apportion any blame there either. There's no way you can see truly what's happening until maybe now. Brake lights come on in front of him. He's braking, I think. Yes, Lambo. Oh god, the Lambo brake lights are annoying, aren't they? So chaos unfolds. Frala brakes. I think that's Frala in the BMW. Pavel's on the brakes. You're not missing that. You can't miss that. More chaos. Next question. Lee Hems, could he have done more? I got a feeling the answer is no. So chaos in front here. He's on the brakes. He's on the brakes. Bish bash bosh. Bish bash bosh. I think this is all unfortunate now. I'm not seeing anybody doing anything truly awful. Nick Golding looked like he made a sneaky move through. But he was on the brakes. Andy Bentley takes a lot of damage here. Let's just reverse. Gonna flip reverse it. Pause that. Everything's going wrong. Oh, he got nudged, didn't he? Carlos, what were you doing, sir? You know what? Carlos is on the brakes quite early here. Oh, I've got a cat stuck in my room. The pro streamers don't have these problems, do they? Right, I'm back. So this is really unfortunate. I think what I want to do is ask the question of, being honest with myself, should I have red flagged this? So we are going to go to the sky. Flying at the sun. Alright, let's just go up here. There we go, we got I say a nice view. Fairly unpleasant, wasn't it? Right. And let's go back 5 seconds. We're just going to hang out here. We're going to watch it slow motion. You see the contact at the top there. We're going to look at that again, see if David should have a stronger penalty. And then what we've got, how many cars affected? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the thing is here, people get going again. And this is why I didn't see it at the time. Because normally, you know, something bad's happened when there's a massive gap in the traffic. But look, what you can see here, there's Rich off on his merry way. The stream of traffic. These guys, they've all got going again. There's quite a chunk of damage in those cars. Quite a few million quid's worth of damage, you would suspect there. But everyone's got going again. It's marginal. It's marginal. What I will do, I'll have a discussion with the other stewards after the race here, just so we can, you know, we all like to learn. We all like to learn. But because people got going again pretty quickly, and we don't want to be doing red flags willy-nilly because it's late. People have got kids and jobs and responsibilities. So if we can avoid red flagging races, we do. This was a close one. I do feel for a couple of the guys involved there. Thomas, Andy Bentley, a few others who got a lot of damage there. Anyway, so what is left to sort out here? Do we go to extra penalty town? Here. Are we going to extra penalty town for David Lolek? Hang on a minute. get rid of that. Second, check everything's still streaming properly. Yes, it is. Right, next, get my penalty sheet ready. Okay. He's on the outside. He's coming on the inside. You know what's going to happen next. He's going for the inside. There's not room there. There isn't room. He hit Thomas. I don't think he lets go of the accelerator either. I mean, to be fair, David can't control what happens behind him after the event, but that was irresponsible. I'm going to stick another 5 seconds on his penalty. Arguably, it could be another 10, given what happens behind him. He drives off into the merry sunset. Let's go back to the main race, see what his time advantage is at the moment, see what's happened to who's right behind him. Because the problem is that some of the guys have left, so it's difficult to see. If I could now tell you that Thomas Naoki was 10, 15 or 20 seconds behind him, we would have a rough idea of a potentially suitable penalty. But he's not there, so it's slightly more difficult to judge. So we'll stick another 5 on. We'll have a review after the race, and we will agree. That's slightly unbecoming. Last time.
Hey Phil, how is it going?
Oh, hello Ryan, how you doing? Have you given up?
Oh, giving up. I absolutely rubbish at the track, and then picked up damage in the big incident early on, and then
Yes.
pitted, came out in the middle of a pack, getting lapped constantly, and then lost it on the last turn, and then I was stuck in the middle of the track and got barreled into by a couple of people.
Yes, I say we, me and the other concurrent viewers, of which I suspect one's you, watched that. That was unfortunate. And we've just been looking at the big crash on lap 1 as well, and which I think you took some damage from as well. I was just having a bit of a retrospective about whether it should have been red flagged or not. It's about 8 cars involved. They got going again, but it was a close one. What were your views from being sort of in the middle of it?
Yeah, I think first of all everyone was sort of like red flag, but we all kept driving. Obviously waiting for you, but I don't know. It was borderline. I think earlier in the season when we had 40 cars on the grid, then 8 cars probably wouldn't have. But now we've got a smaller grid, it's obviously a bigger percentage. So
yeah, we're just watching it from your point of view at the moment, and yeah, because at the time I was flying the live camera around, I was following the guys at the front, and I saw something had happened off in the background, but it just looked like a couple of cars spinning out, and then we saw a little bit later on that actually it was a bit bigger than that. It's difficult,
unfortunately. So a couple of people were ended up sideways in a high-speed braking area, so you can't really do much to avoid them at that point.
So I've actually decided at the time. Because the thing that started it off, I'm just going to quick replay. Let's go back live, see what's happening. The thing that started it all off was David Lolek nudging Thomas Naoki on the just on the exit of that first high-speed right.
Yeah.
Now it was a small nudge. He'd tried to get on the inside, and his front corner had tapped Thomas's back corner. It was one of those things that's worthy of a penalty, but wasn't a massive lapse in judgment. But having looked at it again, that he kept driving through Naoki, and given the sort of chaos that unfolded behind, I'm gonna up it to 10 seconds. Could arguably be more, but I think I'm gonna go for 10 for now. And then maybe as the stewards we can have another look afterwards, because that's the other thing we can do.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one, but whenever anyone's still pinning it and hitting the car several times, it's usually one of those things where you think, okay, you could have easily done, you wouldn't do that in real life, would you?
No, no, exactly.
yeah, I've really struggled. And when I got that hit on start finish straight after spinning, I think I avoided the walls and didn't pick any damage up. And then obviously the cars came through. I guess they were racing, and the two of them I think went for the back of the car as opposed to the front of the car, which is
Yes.
sort of the wrong way around, really, isn't it? And
Yeah,
they
and
went into the ever-closing gap. I had my foot on the brake, but it
yeah,
wasn't stopping.
because at the time I saw you rolling backwards, and like initially I was thinking, oh, Ryan's let go of his brakes there to try and get out of the way, but actually we it looks at the replay. No, you had your brakes held down, and you're right. They went the wrong direction. It wasn't the only incident like that. There was another one a little bit before that looked like a bit of a miscommunication. One car pitting, one car wanting to get past, and the car wanting to get past went on the pit wall side.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that might have been. Oh, there was certainly. I had an incident similar to that because obviously I pitted after the first lap
yeah,
after that because I picked up about 30 seconds of damage. So I first of all the car wasn't handling right, so it sent me wide, and then I came across the pit, and having let one car go past, I didn't see the second car, and
yeah.
I think we avoided each other, but yeah, they ended up getting very, very close to the pit wall.
Right. So you have now retired.
Yeah.
I've got the other issue with the race control software is that if you go into the game and use its manual replay function like I was just doing for the big incident, when you come back out, it's broken the links to the previous replays, so you sort of
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to scrub through stuff.
yeah.
We've only had, thankfully, a couple of incidents since I've been in that replay, but I will try and find those manually. One, I presume, was the one before you retired. You and Stephen Quarle, did you have a little tap before you retired?
Yeah, it was only a bit of rubbing. I think I just ran wide in a corner, and he sort of just went shoulder to shoulder, but there was nothing in it really.
Okay. Then, right.
I am going to call it a night, folks. Going to see how Phil's getting on, but that was awful. Sorry.
Cool.
Talking to myself there, Phil.
Yeah, I wondered if I'd
Push
come
the
back in
talk.
time. You'd already come to talk to me, yeah.
Yes, no, I'd like to think that someday someone might watch a stream, so I was trying to sign it off, but I turned off push to talk, so you got all the my glorious outro. No, I wasn't expecting anything tonight. It's not a track I particularly like, and I had done zero practice. I had so much going on this week, so.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? We saw a few of the guys that had obviously struggled. Roman Frawler was much further down you'd expect him to be. A couple of the guys as well obviously weren't enjoying it too much, but been some good action at the front. I'm just going to do a quick overview of who's going what. Are you still there, Ryan? Are you heading off now?
Yeah, no, I'm still here.
Okay, so we've got Richard's now taking his penalty. I was musing earlier about how long he would wait. He'd built up a 10-second gap because Gabe and Cormac had been fighting a little bit, and so he's gone into the pits and he's come out still in first position.
Nice.
Gabe
so he can stop complaining about his success penalties.
He can. He's successfully negotiated a 10-second penalty and is still in the lead.
Yeah.
Gabe's 3.5 seconds behind him, and Cormac 6 seconds behind Gabe. In the silver class, Glenkirk is leading the way there. A little bit further down the road, about 20 seconds, Eddie Wilkins, but he's being very closely followed by Jamie Armitage.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing when you. I couldn't take that last corner flat out at all.
Yeah.
Every time after that damage, certainly I had no sort of high speed aero in the rear. It was really understeering, so I just could not get the car turning, and I was had to lift every time, and you just see all the tenths disappearing on your lap.
Very frustrating, isn't it?
I retired because I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to catch anyone, I'm not going to race anyone, and everyone's done their pits and stuff now, so it's not going to make any difference unless 23rd place gets a penalty, which just doesn't seem like because of Steven. So
yeah. It's a very tough track to overtake on as well, isn't it?
Have they just finished? Have they?
Leader is on the final lap, apparently. I'm still watching Jamie Armitage because this is the closest action on track. That and Nick Golding hunting down Roman Frala, who has worked. Roman's worked his way up to 6th place after a disappointing qualification, so Nick is right on his tail. Looks like Andy Bentley has just got in front of Marek Dvorak as well. But Rich Gasson comes over to win the race, both outright and for gold class.
Well done, Rich. Not at all jealous of your ability to drive.
Nick Golding is right behind Roman Frala coming into, just coming out the final chicane. Roman's coming up on a back marker, but I don't think the back marker's close enough to hold him up. And Roman's going to hold on to that 6th position. Jamie's not going to get past Eddie either. He tries to put him off with one last wiggle. Doesn't work. Bruce Hughes on the right on the tail of Marek Dvorak. He gets a decent drive in the last corner, but Dvorak just plonks his Lambo, and that is that. I'm not seeing any other closeness in the finishing. So there we go. Rich Gasson leads the way ahead of Gabe Hauker and Cormac Quinn in the gold class. In silvers, Glenn Kirk is victorious ahead of Eddie Wilkins and Jamie Armitage. And in bronze, we speculated about it earlier, Don Speak English has won the bronze class ahead of Dieter Van Brabant and Matt Gale. Don will be very happy about that. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
He was about halfway in. He was well positioned given the success penalties elsewhere, and I think that is a good advert for the success penalties, getting a bit of variety in the class winners and getting things nice and close as well.
Mixes it up nicely. Good effort, Phil. Well done, mate.
Thank you very much. I'm sure there'll be a couple of annoyed people about that red flag decision, but it was a good race other than that. I'm going to save the replay. I'm going to try and track down, there's one other spin marked in the log. Right, could I ask a favour? Could you bring the class winners in and we'll do the interview if you're up for that.
We'll try it. So it was Rich,
Glenn Kirk, and Don.
Glenn and Don. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
We were just discussing how there can be no more complaints about success penalties.
No. I did actually find it quite interesting that because the whole time I was kind of doing the maths of where I needed to be in front of Gabe and Cormac.
Yeah. And it was obviously we had a bit of an incident further back in field. Was it you got away cleanly and didn't see a car after that, or were you having to fight a bit?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It was relatively simple. As I say, it was just me trying to do the maths of where I needed to be before I pitted.
Yeah.
And then I messed the pit stop up by not pressing the right button to start.
That's never good when you.
So I came out a bit closer to Gabe than I wanted to.
Yeah. You did mention on chat that he was struggling to follow you. He was aerial issues, I'm guessing.
Yes, yeah, in that final turn.
Yeah. Well done, mate. Another class win, an overall win. Glenn, you picked up the silver class win. Good race for you.
It was, mate. Yeah, it was. It was a bit intense. It's Zandvoort, isn't it? So it's a lot of turns, a lot of corners.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a bit constant, isn't it? But no, it was a good race. Yeah.
Any particular highlights for you?
No, it was quite quiet for me, to be honest. Yeah, just sort of made my way around and did what I had to do.
Stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, well done.
Let Menzies past because I could see he was absolutely flying. So yeah, just let him fly through and do what he needed to do, and just focused on the old silver classes.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, isn't it? Rather than losing time in battles with people in different classes.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, good.
Don, congratulations, mate, on a bronze class win. Happy with that tonight? No?
Absolutely not.
He is not.
Silent treatment.
Outraged.
Outraged. Okay.
He's so happy he can't contain himself.
He is. He's in tears right now. He's not gonna talk to us because he's just choking back with tears. Are you there, Don?
He's trying to work it out.
Yeah. He was certainly quicker on track than he was with figuring out his mic issues tonight. Don't worry about it, Don. If you can't figure it out, we'll get a written summary from you. Send in a column for us. That'll be great. Congratulations, anyway. Right? Good effort to lead the bronze class home, especially with people like Dieter around. He's pretty quick, so it was a great effort, mate. You were certainly doing some consistent lap times when you were lapping me for however many times it was. So well done. Good effort, mate. We'll leave it there. Let you guys get back to your evenings. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks all.
Alright. I'm going to jump off, Phil. I'll see if anyone's stewarding. No one's in there at the moment. But
Perfect. I'll be there shortly. I'll do the outro as we depart the Netherlands after an action-packed race. Certainly kept me on my stewarding toes. Big thanks to Ryan for joining me at the end there, and congratulations again to all the winners who can have some juicy success penalties next week. Thanks everybody that has watched. I don't care if you like or subscribe, really. It doesn't mean anything to me, but if that's your thing, go for it. Otherwise, have fantastic weeks and hope to see everybody again next week for the next round of Dad's Go Sim Racing. Bye everyone.